Greetings, everyone. This is Jeff Wilkerson, professor of physics at Luther College, bringing you the next in our series of what to look for in the night sky. November 10th, this time around, is what we're talking about. Big week. It's a good week. We start with a fair amount of moon, 60% full to start the week, more or less. But that means it's rising late enough. You've still got good dark skies in the evening if you want to get out. It gets dark early now, that we've here where I'm living, we have fallen back, gone back to standard time, and so we're getting dark 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening, so plenty of time to get outside and get some observing done before the moon rises and washes stuff out. 60% full. It's in Cancer. It's really near the Beehive cluster on the evening of the 10th. So maybe you could see some of the stars with the Beehive cluster, but with the moon so full next to it, I kind of doubt it. So a couple of nights later, the 12th into the morning of the 13th, and we're really talking about the morning of the 13th mostly here, it's 40% full. And it's near Regulus that night, the star in the base of the sickle of Leo, the head of Leo the lion. And so you see the moon sitting just to the east of Regulus there, a nice pairing with a 40% full moon. By the morning of the 16th, the moon has waned away all the way down to 10% full. Beautiful crescent moon, and it sits sort of between west of, I don't think, depends where you're observing from. For me, it'll stay west of Spica to Parima in Virgo. This is the base of the Y shape of Virgo. So you've got the Parima is at the V of the vertex of the Y, and Spica sits down at the base of that. The moon's moving this direction. Virgo, this is a really classic spring constellation. And here we are just getting into fall. And we think of it in the spring because that's when we see it in the evening sky. But here we're seeing it in the morning sky. And so it'll just be rising. It rises 4 minutes earlier every day. And so we'll just see it earlier and earlier and earlier as the year wears on. And it gets us thinking about spring already. By the end of the week, the moon's faded away. By the end of the week, we're starting to get toward the peak of the Leonid meteor shower. Remember, the meteor showers come from this big tube of material that we fly through. So we see the meteors, and they all seem to come from the same point in the sky. And that point is in Leo, where Regulus is. And so we see these meteors and can trace them all back to that point in Leo. Unless there's some kind of unexpected outburst, 15 or 20 meteors may be what you can see, but the moon will have faded away. It'll be dark skies and beautiful to see. So I'd recommend, starting the evening of the 16th into the morning of the 17th is probably your best bet. But a night before and a night after is going to be great for that too. So that's your chance to see the Leonid meteors. Get out there and check it out. With the dark skies, let's take a look at some galaxies. Let's look at a sort of parade of galaxies that we have out there. And we'll start with the Great Square of Pegasus that we've been using quite a bit here lately. And then we have the V of Andromeda. We've got these stars, 3 stars in the ladder of Andromeda climbing up on the top and 3 stars in the ladder climbing up down below. And what we've argued before, you heard me talk about it just a couple of weeks ago, even though we came in from the other direction a couple of weeks ago. You go from the bottom star to the top star in this V on up the same distance, and you get the Andromeda Galaxy. Big, beautiful spiral galaxy, our nearest neighbor spiral galaxy. You see it with your naked eye. You see it with binoculars. It's a great object to look at. And I have my whole life. I have said you go from the lower star to the upper star, the same distance out, and you've got the Andromeda Galaxy. So I went and looked it up. And indeed, it really is the same distance, about 3.8 degrees. I had that right to say that's the same distance across there. This bottom star in the V is Mirach, the beta star in Andromeda, 2.1 magnitude. That's the mu star in Andromeda, 3.9 magnitude, so quite a bit fainter. Now, if you go the other direction, you come to the Pinwheel Galaxy, M33 and Triangulum. M33 and Triangulum, great galaxy. Really hard galaxy to see with a telescope sometimes. See it with your naked eye? Check. I've seen it with my naked eye while lying out camping multiple times up in dark skies. If you've got clear, transparent skies, you see it with your averted vision. You see it there. Holds up to binoculars pretty well. But it's got a low surface brightness. Big sprawling galaxy with a low surface brightness. Spiral galaxies. These are both spiral galaxies. This one's turned face on this way, so it's big around, but not a lot of brightness. I got not a lot of path through to integrate the light up. And so gets harder and harder to see with more magnification and with the telescope. You can do it. But I think it's a better view for me anyway. Sometimes naked eye and certainly binoculars, but a very low power eyepiece. You want your very lowest power eyepiece to look at this Galaxy M33. It's about 7 degrees. So you go about 4 degrees, 4 degrees, 7 degrees to get down to M33. M33 sits about 4 degrees away from the Alpha star in Triangulum. So Triangulum is indeed this triangle of stars. We got Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. Alpha is a 3.4 magnitude star, Beta is a 3 magnitude star, and Gamma is a 4th magnitude star. So these are stars you can see if you got decent skies to check out there. These are the 2 famous galaxies in the region. Let's look at our challenge objects for the week. We got the moon, we got the Leonid meteors, we got a couple of really big, bright, famous galaxies. But let's look at 3 harder to observe galaxies for you to try to check out this week. Right next to Meteor, right next to Beta Andromeda, a 1/10 of a degree away is NGC 404, Meteor's Ghost. And this is a hard galaxy to see, largely because it is the star's so bright in your telescopic eyepiece. So what you want to do is try to slide the telescope eyepiece around so that it's just Meteor is just outside the field of view, and see if you can start to pull this galaxy out here, or take a picture and see if you can see it. But Meteor's really going to blast your picture out too. So this is one you probably want to observe just at the eyepiece, and if you can move the telescope just slightly so Meteor is outside the field of view. Don't see it, move it the other direction. See if it's outside the field of view. Move it the other direction. And so it's just outside the field of view. See if you can see NGC 404. I'm guessing you can do that with a 4-inch scope. If you've got a 6 or 8-inch scope, most of the stuff we're talking about here, a 6 to 10-inch scope is probably going to be your friend to look at that. We can also then look just past, go Beta, Triangulum. Remember the triangle of stars off M33, Beta to Gamma. Just keep going in that same direction. 1 degree more is all. So the Beta and Gamma are separated by about 2 degrees. Go about 1 degree more, and you'll get to NGC 890, a nice elliptical galaxy that you have here. This 8-inch scope probably does this. Good galaxy to look at. NGC 404, we didn't say, it's a transition galaxy between a spiral and an elliptical. So you don't see much in the way of spiral arms right there. A little bit more magnification might help you see that that size, but you got problems with the nearby star. More magnification helps with NGC 777 as well. So NGC 777 is in Triangulum. You start with Alpha, go up toward Beta, and go about 2 degrees up toward Beta. And if you go about 2 degrees up toward Beta, you're going to get NGC 777, and it's a nice elliptical galaxy. I would probably try to use more magnification because it's tight, it's small, to try to expand that out to tell you're not looking at a star right there. It's got an active nucleus. So it's got a nucleus that's churning out a lot of energy. I think it's a Seyfert galaxy, is NGC 777. So this is a fun galaxy to think about and to look at. Below this whole region is Saturn. That's the bright dot that sits down below Pisces, the circlet of Pisces, below the great square of Pegasus, and then you come to Saturn, down below there. So you got Saturn in this region. You got several galaxies, 2 pretty famous, pretty easy to see, relatively speaking, galaxies, and then 3 galaxies we've looked at here that are quite a challenge. But you got dark skies this week. Get out, take a look at some of this stuff. If you got a clear night on the 16th, the 15th, or the 16th, or the 17th, check out some Leonid meteors, and while you're doing it, see if you can find some of these objects. As always, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great observing week ahead. Have a great week overall ahead.